4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Drillers here in the second inning. Marshall Cronk, Jordan Solario, and Juan Zara. We talked about Matthew Waugh and Blake Hunter not being in Ashland. Two other Gremlins sidelined right now. They're on the DL. Jerome Remeke missing at third base. And Zenon Winters, the senior leader of this team, he was only hitting .500 at the time of the injury, 7 for 14 on the season. So their presence very definitely still felt. The youngster at third today, Abelardo Peñuelas, filling in very well for Jerome in his absence, certainly in the offensive department. The report on both of them is they hope to be back in action by the ISC World Tournament next month in August. Zenon is here in Elkland, but with a ski boot type cast on the foot, on the ankle. Injured that in the Port Huron tournament during the final championship game, trying to beat out a ground ball. But he has been here, and his spirit lifting the team throughout. They look to him for leadership. Ball forward to Marshall Cronk, first batter or first base runner of the game for the Drillers. First walk of the game for Jack Besgrove. Not a lot of walks typically from Besgrove. 73 innings pitched. That's only walk number 10. Solario at the plate, looks at that one off and downstairs. Ron Hackett, the skipper of this Northeast Drillers team, also the head coach of the USA national team. Just off the plate. Greg Leather, of course, a former USA head coach. And Greg Hicks, current coach. In for a called strike. Solario, just 21 years of age. He is from Mexicali, Mexico. For those of you not familiar with it, it's just a little bit south of the border between California, Arizona. Still holding fast pitch tournaments in Mexicali. I can attest to that myself. Picked up by Malardzuk, tags Cronk, and then back for the out. So double play ball. Cronk erased on the 4 unassisted. Solario 4-3 in your book if you're keeping one. And Juan Zara will now come to the plate with 2 out and nobody aboard. In at the knees, good hard one from Besgrove. Another hard one in at the knees for a strike. 136 strikeouts on the year in 73 innings pitched. As we said, just about 2 strikeouts per inning for the left-hander. Off the plate away for a ball. Defense for the Gremlins straight away. The right side of the infield back a bit from the bag. Ochoa almost on the grass, as is Malardzuk. Ball high. So 2-2 to Wanzara. There you see the defensive alignment on screen. Right side back, and actually the left side likewise, almost all a step or so in front of the grass. Off the plate downstairs, Besgrove missing. Foul tip. That one's going to be out of play over here on the right side. The park here in Elkland, the Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex, sits right down in the city of Elkland. Just a population only about 2,000 or so. Some turn-of-the-century type houses up along all the streets. One hopper to Cole Evans, picks it up and throws to Ochoa. Side retired, easy inning for Jack Besgrove. The leadoff walk erased on the double play for the Drillers. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. To the home half of the second we go. Gremlins on top, 1-0. Six, seven, eight in the batting order in the second for the Gremlins. That's Redamar, Penuelas, and Malarzouk. Redamar, a newcomer to the Gremlin team in 2024. A welcome and necessary addition with so many of the players sidelined with injuries and whatnot. Has given skipper Greg Leather another option in the outfield. And offensively has done more than expected, more than anticipated. Other than Ochoa, he has been the top hitter for the Gremlins. Comes in with a .357 average, 20 hits. Second only to Eric Ochoa in his 30. On-base percentage just south of 500 at .465. Good power as well, a couple of triples, a couple of home runs. Both home runs game winners for the Gremlins. One in the championship game at Simcoe in the Chiefs Challenge. And one to open play in Port Huron against these Drillers. That one's lifted high and deep to center field, fighting off the sun. Runs out of room. There's a third home run of the year by Redamar. Tio Migliavaca going back as far as he could. Looked like he might have a play. Looking up into the sun, and the ball just carried on out of the ballpark. Lucio getting under it and lifting it deep. Watch the replay. Let's see location. The ball was not up, but he lifted it high and deep, and you see there the resignation of Tio Migliavaca when he realizes no more room. 2-0 Gremlins. Here's the youngster, Abelardo Penuelas. Penuelas out of the Team Mexico youth team, national team. Has really filled the hard-to-fill shoes of Remeke lineup-wise. They had to have another hitter there, and at the moment they've moved the heart of the order up a notch. It used to be Ochoa third and Inoka fourth. They're still playing around with where they're going to leave Penuelas, but he's produced wherever he has been. Redemar has spent some time at the top of the order too, but you see from that last swing, he may have found himself a spot in the heart of that order. Swing and a miss late on that one. Good location. Mata buries the drop ball down. Little bouncer foul in front of the plate. So the Gremlins with 2 runs in 2 innings. That's already one more run than they were able to muster in 7 full innings last week in Ashland. In for a call, strike 3. Down on strikes goes Peñuelas. Takes a look back at our plate umpire, but heads back to the dugout.
The next batter for the Gremlins, the second baseman,
That'll bring up Ladislao Malarzuk, one of the longest standing Gremlins on the team. Hails from Argentina. Downstairs for a ball. Malarzuk was a little late arriving back from his home country, so missed a few games and was off to a little bit of a slow start, but seems to have found his stroke nicely of late. Ladislao comes in with a .276 batting average. His on-base percentage around .350. Downstairs, misses for a ball. Swing and a miss on the riser. Malarzuk coming out of his shoes on that one. He does have a homer to his credit this year. Strike 3 called, and he knew it. Nothing he could do. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 on the day now for Wemo Mata. And to the 9th spot we go, the veteran Nick Mullins. Mully, the leader on the team in walks with a catcher's eye. Very patient at the plate. "14 walks with Redemar and Inoka right behind him at 12. He will find a way to reach base. Takes a good hack at that one straight back to the screen. Mata working more deliberately in this game than the first. That one a hop and a skip to the backstop, a ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to announce the winner of the Durkin Valley Scholarship.
Mully comes in hitting about .250. His on-base percentage almost double that, just south of 500. Half a dozen runs batted in to go with it right now. 2-2 count against Mata. Laced into center field. There's a hit up the middle for Nick Mullins. Good patience at the plate, just stayed back on the ball, drives it up the middle. He will come off the field for a runner on the 2-out catcher rule. That'll be Malarzouk, the last out made.
The next man for the Gremlins, the left fielder, Roy Matthew. Can't do that once again.
So Matthew Waugh, who scored the first run for the Gremlins, singled to right field. That was the ball down the right field line. You hear him being introduced by our PA announcer, Hugo Barbano, as Roy Matthews, his alias. All in good fun. Hugo has been here throughout the tournament. First man in, last man out, doing the public address announcing for all of the games here in Elkland. Inside edge for a strike. Waugh shows his displeasure. It runs both ways. Grounder foul over on the right side. We'll do it again. We'll try and get you a report on the other semifinal game. We can see the scoreboard off in the distance. We just have to find out who's home and who's viz. Right now they're in the third. It's a 2-1 game. The question is who? Hill United 2 and Bear Creek 1. So we know that Hill United is the visitor in that one. Off on the pitch is Malarzouk and dead on arrival. Easy tag out for shortstop Cam Schiller. Zara gets the ball there, and Schiller's just waiting for him to arrive. With 2 out, skipper taking a chance, trying to get a runner moving up. In the inning, though, the Gremlins 1 hit, 1 run, 1 big hit, and 1 run. Redemar's home run, 2-0. New York Gremlins as we head to the top half of the third inning. We'll be back with more. Come on back with us. Top of the third inning here, 7-8-9 for the Drillers. Jack Besgrove has set down the first 6, or erased the first 6. Just the walk to Marshall Cronk erased on the double play, so minimum number of hitters. Godoy, he'll be followed by Blake Underwood and then Wes Short. Underwood and Short both getting starts they didn't play in the morning game. Godoy comes in hitting about $1.50. Small sample size, though. Not as many at-bats as some. 6 for 42 on the season. Got a couple of RBIs and a half a dozen runs scored. Swing and a miss late on that one. Down on strikes goes Godoy. First out of the inning. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Besgrove. And that'll bring Blake Underwood to the plate. Underwood with a big hit in the game last night against Bear Creek early on. I say early, it was before the lead changes of the 6th and 7th. He hit a home run to tie it. I had wandered back into the ballpark to check on the score just in time to see that one carry out of the yard. So we know there's some power there. In for a called strike. Batting average in the same vicinity as Manuel Godoy. Smaller sample size, looks like maybe the two being platooned from time to time. Downstairs for a ball, missing away. For all we've said about Jack Besgrove and the numbers he's put up, very impressive pitching numbers. One thing not talked about as much, in for a called strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning, third in the game. Underwood down on strikes. Watch the ball right there in the middle, framed nicely by Mullins. And the batter will be Wes Short. Short comes in 3 for 15, so not a regular on the lineup card. Ground ball out to Malar Zook, flips it over to Ochoa. Side retired, 3 up and down. Another easy inning for Jack Besgrove. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 in the game for Jack. We'll be back with more action, home half of the third. If you're a Gremlins fan looking ahead, it's the top of the order coming up. Top of the order for the Gremlins here in the fourth. That'll be Matthew Waugh, followed by Eric Ochoa and Ben Inoka. Waugh, as we mentioned, was absent from the Ashland tournament. They have enjoyed having him back in the lineup. Matthew comes in hitting about 3 1/4, 327. Add 100 points for his on-base percentage. Towards the leader in the walk category and the leader among the leaders in runs scored. Generally speaking, as he goes, they go. He is the one that gets the offense started. He did in the first with a base hit, came around to score the first run, getting his second look at Wemul Mata. Does have a home run to his credit already. Had a good number last year. And has 3 doubles already. In for a called strike. The single by Waugh in the first was the ball hit down the right field line just over the bag. Down in the dirt, low. Lifted that into deep right field, going to carry on back, and a running catch going up against the fence by Blake Underwood. Nice catch. That one as far as you could go without getting out of the yard. Good defensive play on Underwood. There you see it. You see him go back, back, back up against those wooden boards, and just enough reach to haul that one in. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ochoa steps in with a sizzling .462 batting average. At 100 points for on-base percentage. Leader in hits, leader in homers. High, and that's going to carry out a play over on the left side. 5 members of the Gremlins with a couple of home runs. Eric has 6 on the year. 8 doubles to go with those. And not surprisingly, a dozen walks. He's up near the top of the list on that as well. His team start to give him the Barry Bonds treatment. Swing and a miss late on that one. Little change or took something off it. Big day yesterday for Eric. 2 home runs against number 2 ranked Hill United in that big 12-1 win over the Chiefs. Foul tip. Had a pretty good hack at that one. High and out of play over on the left side. Eric originally from the San Diego, California area, much closer to my home. We often talk about him, comparing him to the great Tony Gwynn. Eric with more power, of course. But I think at this point in the season, we could say those aren't Tony Gwynn numbers. Those are Eric Ochoa numbers. Just missing away. Ochoa, a strikeout victim his first time up, went down swinging. 1 of 4 thus far by Mata. Swing and a miss, and down he goes again. So Ochoa, the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Benny Noka. Ben also a strikeout victim of Mata's. 5 in the books, 5 strikeouts for Mata thus far. In for a called strike. If you joined us late, the Gremlins scored a run in the first. Matthew Waugh aboard with a single. Doubled home by Cole Evans. Redemar led off the second inning with a home run. That's where we are right now. Foul tipping out of play on the right. Down in the dirt, Benny lays off. In for a call, strike down around the knees. Inoka takes a look back. We'll let you take a look back, I hope, on the replay. Be a judge on that one.
Gremlins about halfway through. 3 up, 3 down. The score at the end of 3. Your Gremlins 2.
Now, not a look that helps us tell. That's actually about the same view I have of it from here. So I guess I don't have any say in the matter. Down on strikes anyway goes Inoka, strikeout number 6 in the book. Easy inning for Mata, 3 up and down, no runs, no hits, nobody left. We'll be back with more from the Gremlins Invitational here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. Top of the fourth, top of the order for the Drillers. Migliavaca, Milheim, and Schiller. 2-0 Gremlins here. The bunt is down, but foul. And he's being called out. Said it made contact out of the box. So says our home plate umpire, Mike Morrissey. Ron Hackett's going to come down and argue that call. We'll wait. Maybe we can see that replay one more time. Full conference of our umpiring crew right now. Morrissey, Hand. And McLaren down there talking about it. Call stands. Here's a better, closer look. Contact made, sure looks like it, but question is, was he out of the box? So you see the hand go up by Ochoa. I think he was voting. Always tough either way. It's a little hard to see, especially with the hitter moving as he's coming out of that batter's box. But the first out recorded. Milheim will be at the plate. Two unassisted on your scorecard. First out of the inning, and a big one to get Migliavaca out of the way. Remember, it was the bunt in Ashland in the title game last week that put him aboard to score one of the 2 crucial runs. That one's fouled back by Milheim. Milheim, the man of the hour in the quarterfinal game this morning against the Lumberjacks. 2 home runs, 5 RBI, and the second home run was the 9th run against 2 by the Lumberjacks, ended the game on a walk-off. Milheim at one point was a New York Gremlin back in the earlier days. Has settled in as a solid member of this Northeast Drillers team. He'll be in Oklahoma City in September with the USA national team. So Mullins right now working against one of his own. Eric Ochoa down at first base, of course, one of those as well, member of that team. Little bit off of that one, in for a called strike, a little floater. You see Milheim kind of do a double take. There's the replay. Kind of a hitch, like he thought about it and then realized too late to adjust to the changeup. Good pitch by Besgrove. Grounder foul on the right side. Fouled up and out of play on the right. We were talking earlier about Besgrove, and I started to say one of the things not talked about as much about Besgrove. If you look at the numbers, he has almost as many relief appearances as he does starts. He has been used extensively in key spots. Greg Leather likes to use him in 3-inning stints. He's had several where he faced the minimum 9 batters. Ground ball to Cole Evans, up with it over to Ochoa for the out. Second out of the inning, that'll bring Cam Schiller to the plate. Some starting pitchers like throwing in relief. Some it's just a bridge they don't want to cross. But Besgrove has shown that he has excelled in that capacity. Swing and a miss on the big roundhouse rise ball. You see Besgrove really leaping off that pitching plate out there. Really extending, getting under the rise ball. Upstairs with that one, a little high. That one's lifted out into deep center field, backing up with a beat on it, though, is Benny Noka. Makes the catch for out number 3. Pretty good contact by Schiller, but right at Inoka, 3 up and down for the Drillers in the 4th. Nothing to show for it. To the home half of the 4th we go. Gremlins still on top, 2-0 in this semifinal game of the 2024 Gremlins Invitational. You're watching the Gremlins Network. We'll be right back. Hope Home half of the fourth inning, it's 4-5-6, Evans, Hunter, and Retamar. Evans with an RBI double in the first, driving in one of the 2 runs in this one for the Gremlins. Just missing downstairs. Evans always at the top of the slugging category. Good power, doubles, home runs. Always among the leaders of RBIs as he is this year. In for a called strike. Evans, one of a handful of players that was missing in action at the Saskatoon tournament the Gremlins played in. They took 2 of the 3 losses on the year at that tournament. All the New Zealand players were with the Black Sox, so Evans, Inoka, Remeke, Mumu, even Daniel Chapman got in some work for the Black Sox and out of action for the Gremlins that weekend. Interestingly, a couple of the players on the field, Milheim and Schiller, filled in for the Gremlins. Lifted out into deep center field. Tio looks that one away. Gone way back beyond the fence in center field. So the power we talked about, Cole Evans, he unloads on one, 3-0 Gremlins. You knew from the moment it made contact, Solario and Migliavaca just stood and watched. No point in chasing that one. Way, way back towards the grandstand on the other ballpark. So 2 of the 3 runs coming in of the home run variety, and it looks like that might be all for Mata. Pitching change as Ron Hackett, the skipper, comes out to take the ball. We'll wait to see the announcement when we come back. Martin Gonzalez coming out to the circle, gets the ball from the skipper, Ron Hackett. A little delay on it. Not sure whether he was somewhere else down the line or just not expecting to come in, but Hackett says enough. Wants to cut things off now. Mata threw the morning game, so already with a full game under his belt and a tough Gremlin lineup through 4 innings. He surrenders 3. Nobody aboard, so you can close the book on him. 3 runs on 4 hits. Waugh with a single, Evans with a double and a homer. Retamar with a home run. So the 4 hits for the, 5 Mullins. So 4 runs, 3 runs on 5 hits. Good luck on the screen as Luciano Lofrano of Softball Premier TV takes us around the park in Elkland, the old wooden ballpark. Heard from Bill Hillhouse, our friend in Erie, Pennsylvania today, just up the road from where we are. So Bill, of course, has been to Elkland a time or 2. Talks about some of the earlier competitions here. The Labor Day tournament, always a big one. That actually was what drew Greg Leather in the old New York club. Got him interested. Those days, a few more teams, and USA Softball, then ASA, used to wait until after Labor Day to hold their big tournament. So all the teams in prime form. That was a finish line tournament on Labor Day. Lots of teams coming here to Elkland. Blake Hunter at the plate. Martin Gonzalez, first batter he will face. Gonzalez, as we mentioned, took the loss last night against Bear Creek. Got touched up for a couple of home runs in that final 7th inning. But pitched very, very well against these Gremlins in Port Huron opening night. Just the lone leadoff home run to Retamar. After that, he was lights out. In at the knees, and Hunter not happy. Despite his relatively small size, generates a lot of power on his pitches, good velocity. Most of it coming from those legs and hips as he drives forward. Tremendous power. A little fly pop up in the infield. Milheim will grab it for out number 1. So here is the aforementioned Lucio Retamar. Retamar with a home run earlier in the game. Last time up, that of course against Waymo Mata. His first look at Martin Gonzalez. Martin Gonzalez. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Martin, of course, one of a number of Argentine players on this team. Mata as well as others. Swing and a foul tip straight back. That one out of the strike zone. Looked like a strike coming in, but moving as it went upward. Update on the Hill United Bear Creek game. Hill United on top 3-1. They are in the 4th inning down there, as are we here. Tries to check his swing. They go for help, and yes, indeed, he did come around. So Retamar down on strikes, says our third base umpire-in-chief, John Hand from Illinois. See it on the replay. Yep, already committed with those hands. How to bring up Abelardo Peñuelas. First pitch swing and fouls that one straight back to the screen. Shows bunt, gets it down, but foul. Peñuelas actually the highest batting average, even higher than Eric Ochoa at 571. Smaller sample size, of course, just the 2 tournaments last week and this one. He started the day over 600. Ground ball over to short and gets between the wickets on Schiller. And Peñuelas says, I'll take second too. A little slow getting the ball back in and didn't break stride over at first, showing off that speed. So the error by Schiller, you can see on the replay. Just came off the ball, and Peñuelas, good speed out there at second base. Ladislao Malarzouk will be at the plate. Malarzouk, strikeout victim first time up, that against Mata, his first look at Martin Gonzalez. Foul tip, first pitch swinging is Ladislao. 3-0 lead for the Gremlins. They'd like to add another here. Good opportunity with speed on the bases out there, but 2 outs in the book. In for a call, strike. Lots of backward Ks in the book on either side, so I think at this point hitters have to assume a close one's not going to go their way. Time to grip it and rip it. Ball downstairs low. Just off the plate, away. So Mata charged with all 3 runs. Just 3 hitters faced so far by Gonzalez. Got 2 outs before the error put Peñuelas aboard. Lifted out into deep right field, going back and watching that one sail. Home run, Ladislao Malarczuk. 2-run shot. So they got the one they were after and one more to go with it. Ladislao Malarczuk. Big high fly to right field, brings home Peñuelas, and he follows him around. 5-0 now, Gremlins.
The next batter for the Gremlins, the catcher, Nick Mullins.
Underwood took a couple of steps and then just turned and watched that one way out of the ballpark. Here's Nick Mullins, 1 for 1 with that single up the middle last time. First pitch swing and ball, foul ball. So the offense for the Gremlins out in full force this weekend in Elkland as they host the Invitational here. Prize money on the line. In for a call, strike. Lays off the one outside. And I think this weekend, to Greg Leather's delight, the offense is coming from all quarters. Every game it's somebody else. So Choa with a couple of home runs in one of the games. Inoka, back-to-back games with home runs. Now Redemar and Malarczuk getting into the act. Cole Evans with extra base hits. They haven't had to rely on any 1 or 2 batters in the order. And it just makes it harder still in the pitchers. You can't pitch around a particular guy in the batting order. Even on a day like today when Ochoa does not yet have a hit. Rare occasion this year. Everybody else jumping in feet first to take care of things. Swing and a miss by Mullins. He's down on strikes. Gonzalez out of the inning. But 2 big runs on the board on the home run off the bat of Ladislao Malarczuk. To the 5th we go. 5-0 Gremlins. 5 runs on 6 hits. But big flies across the board. Redemar's home run, Malarczuk's. Cole Evans, home run power. We'll be right back. Speaking of home run power, one standing at the plate to lead things off here in the fifth inning, Marshall Cronk. 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order for the Drillers. He'll be followed by Solario and then Zara. Godoy after that if they can reach. Marshall with a couple of home runs already on the season. Double-digit walks, so pitchers tend to work around the big fellow. Batting average just around 2.5, 250, but the on-base percentage over 400. The home run numbers for the Drillers actually look a lot like the Gremlin numbers. A number of players with 2 home runs and then one standout at the top with 6. I was about to guess it would be Cronk, but it's Milheim. So Milheim with 6 homers. Eric Ochoa on the other side of the ledger for the Gremlins with 6. And if you're wondering, does that include the 2 that Milheim hit today? And the answer is yes. He started the day with 4. In for a call. Let's try a good hard one on the outside edge. 2-2 now to big Marshall Cronk. Drillers, of course, would like to have him batting with men aboard, not leading off the top of an inning, but there we are. Lays off that one, gets away from Mully. Grounder in front of the plate. Jack Besgrove hops off, turns, and fires to Ochoa. 1-3 on the scorecard. Besgrove does a pretty good job of fielding his own position out there. Watch him on the replay, you'll see. Nice and smooth. Sees the ball, gets to it, takes his time, makes the throw, doesn't hurry. So Solario at the plate. Solario 0 for 1, grounded out to Malarzouk, last time up at second. Fouled away on the right side. Despite his young age, 21, he's now with his 3rd team and has sort of settled in with these Drillers. He's played for the San Antonio, Texas Glowworm squad. They are just outside the top 10 teams right now, I think 11 or 12. And also played or started with the AWP Lumberjacks. In for a called strike. So has been noticed by managers around this circuit. He, like me, enduring some of the travel from the West Coast, unlike a lot of the other East Coast players. Lifted out into shallow right center field, going over to make the catch. Lucio Redemar. Looked like it might split the gap for a moment, but Redemar able to run it down. There's the replay. Yeah, you see both Redemar and Inoka over there in the gap. Little breeze blowing the flag lightly. Not really in any direction or strong enough to play a role. Here's Juan Zara, grounded out to Cole Evans last time up. The walk to Cronk in the 2nd inning, the only blemish on the ledger for Jack Besgrove. It has been a quiet Northeast Driller game. In for a called strike. Zara nodding his head in agreement. So 0-2 on Zara. Advantage Jack Besgrove. Off the plate, way outside. Still 3-1 on the other field. They're in the 5th inning, as are we. Hill United 3, Bear Creek Express 1. If that score would stay in this one, it'd be a rematch of yesterday's Chiefs Gremlins game. Swing and a miss late is Zara. 3 up and down, easy inning for Jack Besgrove. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. To the home half of the 5th we go still. New York Gremlins on top 5-0. Semifinal matchup, the winner to the title game, meeting the winner of the Hill United Bear Creek game. We'll be back, and we hope you will too. Home half of the 5th inning, it'll be top of the order for the Gremlins. Matthew Waugh, Eric Ochoa, and Ben Inoka. Waugh 1 for 2 on the day, single to right and scored. Flied to right last time up. Way inside, gets him off the plate. Those at-bats, of course, against the starter, Waymo Mata. This against Martin Gonzalez. 5 runs on 5 hits for the Gremlins. 3 of them home runs. Malar Zooks, a 2-run shot. Cole Evans, a 2-run shot. And Redemar's a solo home run. They've got the RBIs. Little flare into left field is going to fall in front of Jordan Solario. Big turn by Matthew Waugh, but the throw comes in right on the nose to second baseman Wes Short. Solario showing off another part of the arsenal. An arm. So the batter, Eric Ochoa. Eric 0 for 2 thus far. Fly out to center and a strikeout. His first look at Martin Gonzalez. Down the heart of Main Street for a called strike. Ball up the middle. Schiller flips to short. Short wide of first with the throw. So Ochoa aboard on the fielder's choice. They get the force out, but the throw wide, so Ochoa now here at first. You see on the replay the ball to Schiller. Easy toss over to second. Didn't have far to go, but Short not able to convert it. Batter for the Gremlins, Benny Noka. Benny 0 for 2 in this one. Coming on to run for Ochoa is Tane Mumu. One of the stable of speedsters at the disposal of Greg Leather. Tane getting a bit more playing time, including last week in Ashland, with a couple of regulars sidelined. Showing off some of his skills, the youngster from New Zealand. Don't have a stolen base tally with me, but I have to think it's Tane at the top. Here's Inoka. Forwards K, backwards K thus far. Ball high. Gremlins 3 wins yesterday. This is their 4th game of the tournament. Ball high. Ball upstairs. In yesterday's games, the Gremlin pitchers surrendered 1 run, 1 run, and 1 run. 16-1, 12-1, and 5-1. So it's not just the offense of the Gremlins doing the job. Pitchers have held up their end of the bargain. Pop up shallow left field. Schiller going back, and makes the catch, fighting off the sun. So the second out of the inning recorded. And that'll bring Cole Evans to the plate. Evans was the last batter faced by Wemel Mata. The big home run off the bat. And now with 2 out, expecting to see Tane Mumu perhaps giving a look at second base. Unless they just want to let Cole swing it with a 5-run lead, perhaps that being the case. Way outside. High fly ball looks playable. Jordan Solario a couple of steps in and to his left. Makes the catch for out number 3. For the Gremlins in the inning, they get a hit, no runs. So 1 man left. Early getting late for the Drillers as we head into the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back with more semifinal game in the Gremlins Invitational. Gremlins on top, 5-0. Seven, 8, 9 for the Drillers in the top half of the 6th inning. Down to their final 6 out. Jack Besgrove getting a look at the finish line now in the 6th inning on top of the big 5-run margin. That one's fouled straight into the dugout. Couldn't do that again if you tried. Scattering the Gremlins over there. Nobody hurt, but the white flag is being waved. The white towel. Surrender. Is that Varm down there? Waving the white flag? I think so. Godoy 0 for 1, only one at bat thus far, and we're already in the 6th inning. So Besgrove working the minimum. Save the walk back in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss, chases one outside. Down on strikes goes Godoy. Fifth strikeout of the game for Jack Besgrove. Combination of ground balls, fly balls, and strikeouts in equal amounts in this game for Jack Besgrove. Hasn't tried to overpower anyone. Strikeout tally down from what it normally can be, but that happens when you play the number 3 ranked team in the world. Blake Underwood at the plate. We mentioned a big home run last night that at the time in the 6th inning tied the game at 1 with Bear Creek. Bear Creek would eventually win out, but Underwood delivered under pressure. There's a ball hit backhanded by Ladislaw. Not picked up cleanly, and he's aboard safe. Tough chance. The ball heading up the middle. The only chance he had was to reach and backhand it. Hit or error, will let you decide. The official man will call it. Regardless, Underwood aboard at first with 1 out. I have an error in my book.
Next time for the Brewers, the second baseman, Wes Short.
Laddie out at second base, still shaking his head about it. I think unhappy with himself at that. So thought he had a play, should have made the play. First error of the game for the Gremlins, 2 on the side of the Drillers. Neither of those 2 errors, though, really contributing to the 5-0 margin. It's been all home run derby. Home runs accounting for most of the Gremlin runs. West Short at the plate, 0 for 1. Grounder to second base for the out. A little nubber in front of the plate. Besgrove hops off like a cat over to Ochoa for the out. Moving over to second base is Blake Underwood. There you see the replay. Again, Jack Besgrove doing a nice job of fielding his position. To the top of the order we go. Migliavaca 0 for 2, a strikeout, and then that somewhat controversial catcher unassisted where he bunted and got hit coming out of the box. The ball hitting him on the thigh, or right around the knee, thigh area. He caught the Gremlins napping in Ashland with one of those. We'll see if he might return to it here. Swinging away, clean base hit to left field. That one takes a weird hop all the way to the wall. Migliavaca around second on his way to third. I don't know if it hit a sprinkler or something out there, but you'll see on the replay, it just went sideways on Matthew Waugh out there. So a clean single, first hit of the game for the Drillers. I guess if you're going to lose the no-no, at least a hard hit as opposed to a bunt or something else. So Migliavaca all the way around to third. And the run scored by Blake Underwood. Can't do it now, but I'm going to have to go back and look at the replay on that. Just a crazy hop on the ball. Looked like he thought he'd pick it up on one hop, and it went sideways. Milheim at the plate takes the strike. Blaine 0 for 2, couple of ground balls, one to second, one to short. After a big quarterfinal game that preceded, 2 homer, 5 RBI. Little 2-hopper down to third. He'll have to hurry, and Peñuelas coming across with the throw. So we'll do it again. Foul ball over there. You'll see perhaps on the replay. Good effort by Abelardo. Always easier to go to your right if you're a right-hander. We saw Cole Evans make an amazing play yesterday, rolling out to his left and throwing across his body for the out. Swing and a miss on the big roundhouse rise. Another strikeout for Besgrove, number 6 on the day. For the Drillers, they get a run on one hit. The error. 5-1 Gremlins as we head to the home half of the 6th inning. We'll be right back from the Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex in Elkland, Pennsylvania. You're watching the Gremlins Network. Home half of the 6th inning for the Gremlins. I believe I heard the announcement of a defensive change by the Drillers. Cam Schiller had started at short. I believe that is Zach Shaw getting the announcement as we speak. See if we can pick those up off the scorecard. So it looks like Milheim and Schiller out on that left side of the infield. Dan Mitchell, if I heard it correctly. And with Wes Short starting at second base today, I think that's Zach Shaw, the regular second baseman, playing short. The batter for the Gremlins will be Hunter. So we're at the 5, 6, 7 part of the order. Hunter, Redemar, and Peñuelas. Ball high upstairs. So if the score were to hold, it would be the 4th game in a row that the Gremlins surrendered just 1 run. 16-1, 12-1, 5-1, and we are at 5-1 in this one. Just missing off the plate. Still 3-1, Hill United over Bear Creek. They're in the 6th, as are we. Foul tip and over the screen. In for a call, strike 3, and Hunter down on strikes. Here's Redemar, 0 for 1 for 2. Strikeout and the big fly home run in the top of the second inning, bottom of the second inning to lead things off. We mentioned Redemar had 2 home runs before this one. Both of them were game winners. And if you look at the scorecard, that was the second run for the Gremlins. So if the score were to hold, he'd have done it a third time. And for a called strike. Ball downstairs inside. The Gremlins and the Chiefs have met 3 times already in the 2024 season. Gremlins have come away with 2 wins. Title game in Simcoe at the Chiefs Challenge early. That was on the big 3-run home run by Redemar. They lost to the Chiefs in Saskatoon 1-0, despite a 15 strikeout performance by Jack Besgrove. For the Chiefs, it was Lenny Vilvaso with a big fly home run in the 7th to win it. And then yesterday, run rule affair, 12-1, Gremlins over the Chiefs. If you were wondering about the pitching in that one, they started Holobratic and they went to Godoy. Marco Diaz did not throw, although he did in Simcoe. A little grounder out to second. West Short will have to hurry, and he does in time to get the second out. So 2 up and down quickly. Easy inning thus far for Gonzalez. It'll be Abelardo Pinuelas. 12 for 22 is Abelardo in his young Gremlin career. Just 2 weekends so far. There's another one to the tally as he goes the other way with it. Clean single to left field. So the average started at that at bat. He was at 571, if you can believe that. Going up from there, don't know if it'll cross the 600 threshold, but he has just been a sight to behold. Now puts on the green oven mitts over there. They didn't have those when I played, but it seems like everybody's wearing them now to protect the fingers. I'm always looking for a batch of cookies when I see those. Malarzouk at the plate, homered in this one. Grounder to short at second. West Short, I should say, at second, over to first for the out. So side retired for the Gremlins. No runs, a hit. A man left. To the 7th we go in this one. 5-1 New York Gremlins on top as Jack Besgrove heads back to the circle. First man on the field, anxious to close things out against the Northeast Drillers. The other ball diamond still 3-1 in the 6th. Hill United on top of Bear Creek. Winners will collide for the championship. We'll be back. Last call for the Drillers here, down 5-1. Milheim's spot in the order, but Zach Shaw at the plate. Coming on in the late inning for Blaine. First pitch swing and lifts that one to the outfield. Inoka going to come all the way over to right field to make the catch. And then flips it back to Redemar. Benny says, I'll take care of you. Two of them still talking ball up in the sun, so good thing somebody took charge out there. Shaw retired on the fly out, so Drillers down to their final two. Well, that was Schiller's spot, I'm sorry, in the order. Marshall Cronk at the plate. Cronk 0 for 1, tapper to the pitcher, and had that walk back in the second inning. Until the clean single from Tio Migliavaca, Cronk had been the only base runner, only batter to reach against Besgrove. Drillers currently 1 run on 1 hit and a couple of errors. Grounder foul on the right side. Swing and a miss. Big rise ball gets Cronk on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Besgrove looking for the finish line here. Needs an out to book it. Hill United still up 3-1 in the 6th. We're in the 7th here. Gremlins need 1 more out to advance to the championship game of the Gremlins Invitational. Jordan Solario at the plate takes one inside for a ball. Solario with a grounder to second and a fly to right. Fouls that one out of play. Number 1 Gremlins leading the number 3 ranked Drillers in this one. Number 2 ranked Hill United Chiefs leading the number 4 ranked Bear Creek in the other. A little slow roller from the pitcher's mound. Besgrove looking around to see what happened. Lost that one coming out of the chute. When you're pitching a one-hitter, you have every right to enjoy a light moment. Grounder to short, backhanded by Evans, up to Ochoa. Side retired. Final score here, Gremlins 5, Northeast Drillers 1. The New York Gremlins will advance to the championship game of this Gremlins Invitational Tournament. That one's scheduled to go off at 1 o'clock. Judging from the other games still underway, it may be a little later than that, but we will find you on the other side. Drillers coming across to shake hands with the Gremlins. Outstanding effort by the Drillers, making it to the semifinal, winning this morning. Jack Besgrove, a one-hitter. We're going to close up shop here. We'll find you on the other side, 1 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter for the title game.
in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball. On demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. Softball Premier